world is gearing up for the 2nd of April when reciprocal tariffs announced by the US President Donald Trump will kick in. Over the week, in fact, India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, in fact, engaged in with his US counterparts. And the two countries are also trying to negotiate a bilateral trade agreement. During this recent visit of the Prime Minister to Washington, India and the United States had set an ambiguous target. It was quite ambitious to double the bilateral trade between the two nations to $500 billion by 2030. In fact, it was also agreed that the two countries will negotiate the first tranche of the mutually beneficial multi-sector bilateral trade agreement by the fall of 2025. In fact, even as the trade talks between India and the United States are at an early stage, the US President Donald Trump reiterated the claim that India charges massive tariff. In fact, the US president, whose tariff threat has sparked global trade war concerns, also claimed that India has agreed to significantly reduce the tariff. He went on to add that this happened because his administration finally exposed what India had been doing.
India charges us massive tariffs, massive. You can't even sell anything into India. It's almost restrictive. It is restrictive. You know, we do very little business inside. They've agreed, by the way, they want to cut their tariffs way down now because somebody's finally exposing them for what they've done.
Meanwhile, India has downplayed Trump's remarks, with sources in the MEA saying that such tariff restrictions are in line with the broader pattern that India is following with other developed nations as well, while declining to share the details of the trade negotiations, saying that they are still ongoing and at an early stage. Sources told Times Now that India has reduced its average applied tariffs significantly for countries like Australia, the UAE, Switzerland and Norway as well. They say that similar negotiations are also currently underway with the European Union and the United Kingdom, and that ongoing discussion with the United States should be seen in that same context. Meanwhile, the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, said that India is looking for a good trade agreement with the United States to promote economic growth and ensure smooth supply chains. She also said that amid a growing global tariff war, India will have to move smartly to guard against the possible dumping of goods from countries that are facing higher US tariff. At the same time, India will protect the interests of domestic industries that rely on affordable imports.
There is a lot of interest in the statements coming out of the United States. I will not get into that at this point in time because these are ongoing discussions, so it would not be right to get into it. But I would only point you towards the fact that we have in recent times entered into bilateral trade agreements which are based on tariff liberalization with several partners. There are ongoing discussions with several other partners on these issues now, and I think the ongoing discussions should be seen in that context as well.
So despite a clarification that has come in from the Foreign Secretary, the opposition sought to train guns at the Modi government and claimed that Trump's remarks at a time when India's Commerce Minister was on the US land is an insult to the nation. In fact, the Congress party asked, what has Modi government agreed to? And are interests of the Indian farmers and Indian manufacturing being compromised? The Congress also asked the Prime Minister to take the Parliament into confidence when it resumes on the 10th of March. The BJP, though, has hit back at the Congress party, saying that even on such sensitive subjects, they seem to be playing politics.
सवाल हम सबको पूछना चाहिए कि पीयूष गोयल ट्रेड नेगोशिएशन करने वहां हैं अमेरिका में। अमेरिका की धरती पर अभी भारत का एक महत्वपूर्ण मंत्री महत्वपूर्ण बात करने गया हुआ है और अमेरिका का राष्ट्रपति यूं इस तरह के शब्दों से अपमानित करते हुए भारत को घोषणा कर रहा है कि भारत टैरिफ कम करने को मान गया। और गुस्सा इसलिए है कि सरकारें आती रहती हैं जाती रहती हैं, जो छवि बनती है भारत के प्रधानमंत्री के पद की, उसके साथ खिलवाड़ कोई भी करे वो अपराध है, वो अपराध माफ करने योग्य नहीं हो सकता।
टैरिफ के रैशनलाइजेशन से निश्चित रूप से भारत और अमेरिका के बीच में व्यापारिक संबंध और अधिक मजबूत होंगे। ग्लोबल सिनेरियो ये डिसाइड करता है कि कहाँ कितना टैरिफ लगाना। कई दशकों तक देश पर राज करने वाली कांग्रेस आज पूरे देश में अपनी पॉलिटिकल जमीन खोती जा रही है, तो उनकी छटपटाहट और उनकी बेचैनी बहुत स्वाभाविक है और निश्चित रूप से वो मीडिया की सुर्खियां बटोरने के लिए हर उस विषय पर राजनीति करते हैं जिस पर गंभीरता अपनानी चाहिए।
So the visit of Piyush Goyal comes at a very significant time, because this comes at a time when there is a lot of chaos in the global world order and a lot of chaos and confusion over President Trump's announcement of tariff war on several countries. Joining us